Well, hello. Join me on the porch for another episode of Selling Point. Today's topic is features tell, but benefits sell. You know, features and benefits are the basis of all selling. It's one of the first things that we learn. So let me start off with a little story that might sort of paint the corners into what we want to talk about for the next few minutes, and that is a detective showed up to do his investigation at a murder scene, and he noticed that there were 15 empty .45 caliber cartridges scattered around on the floor. And so he finishes investigation, and this is apparently a domestic homicide where a wife has shot her husband, and so she's already been taken downtown. So he goes down there to do an interview with her. And he asked her just one simple question. He said, "Ma'am," he said, "why did you shoot him 15 times?" And with a straight face, she said, "'Cause that's all the bullets I had." And, you know, sometimes we do that when we're selling, is we go in and we do a data dump on our prospect, and we just give feature after feature. And many times just one or two or three features might get the job done, but we end up just doing like I say, a data dump on that prospect. And so it's important certainly to use features to explain about our service or about our product, but we want to make sure that we're giving the relevant features and not just everything that we have in our arsenal. And so to get to basics here, a feature, really the definition of it is simply it's a characteristic of your product or your service, whereas a benefit tells that prospect what the feature will do for them. And it's something that you might not have thought about, but really there are two types of benefits. One is a logical benefit, and a logical benefit tells that prospect how it works. And the emotional benefit is how that prospect will feel as a result of having that service or that product. And so it's important that we remember that people buy from emotion and they justify with logic. Sometimes we get that turned around and we end up spending too much time talking about feature after feature, and we don't get to the fact of giving good solid benefits, especially heavying up on emotional benefits. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say, for instance, that you're an HVAC salesperson, and you're out talking to a prospect, and you noticed when you did your little walk around that the air conditioned compressor was outside the bedroom window. And so as you're talking to that prospect, then maybe you mention to him the fact that your system has a variable speed compressor, and that's something that he would probably be interested in, because the logical benefit by describing it is that it automatically adjusts between 25 and 100% of the capacity based on what the need is at that particular time, and that happens automatically. And so the fact is that it makes that compressor a lot quieter, and it runs and produces about 55 decibels versus the 70 or 80 decibels that most typical systems produce. The emotional benefit then would be that it's going to provide that family a better night's sleep, instead of having that compressor cutting off and on during the night and making a whole lot of noise. Now, when you put these things together, then I call those a point of value. And again, these are the building blocks as you're selling. But just remember that you want to give a feature, and then you want to give a logical benefit to tell them how it works, and then you want to follow that up with an emotional benefit to let them know how they will feel as a result of them having that product or having that service. And so when you're selling, if you'll try to remember that and go through the fact that every feature that you mention should be built into a point of value, and I think you'll see pretty quickly that especially when you're giving relevant benefits that are specific to what the needs or the desires of that prospect are, that you'll be much more successful in having your conversation and won't be viewed as just a loudmouth salesperson that's just rattling off a whole lot of features. In my book, sell is not a four-letter word. That topic is addressed on page 139, and in the section of that book, there are 19 topics that relate to presenting and giving a prospect your presentation about whatever it is that you're selling. So if you hadn't picked up a copy yet, $12. Go to RobinsonTrainingSolutions.com and get it ordered, or you could get it at Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, or any place that books are sold. So have a great selling week.